the world of professional golf, there exists an elite club. A club filled with legends, household names, and rising stars. A club where membership is earned yearly with time, sweat, and dedication. This week, 50 players will gain entry into this exclusive fellowship. The top 25 from the regular season have already secured their spots, and another 25 spots are up for grabs here this week. Some dreams will be realized. Others will have to wait another day. Who will be next to join the likes of Jason Duffner, Grant Snedeker, and Keegan Bradley as the next great Web.com Tour graduate? EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present opening round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. This is the fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. Pressure-packed environment. 50 PGA Tour cards are up for grabs. Frank, this is a great day for golf, and the conditions here at Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, look to be really good.
Rich, scoring conditions are absolutely optimal today. Expect to see a lot of low numbers.
.180 yards to the flagstick. 13th hole is where the action is right now. Let's take you there. As we check in on this early round action, we join our featured golfer, already playing well to this point. Couple of low numbers on the scorecard.
Yeah, it looks very good. Good swings out there and some good putting as well.
This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
And he went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is. Just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
Third shot now after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left. And he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. Pretty good result right there, considering
it looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
And ready for the putt. Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
So, 2 over par for the round. Now one of the most demanding holes on this golf course, the 14th, 481-yard par 4.
If you want a litmus test at TPC Sawgrass on who's playing well, check the tee shots on 14. If you stripe it down here, you know you're driving the ball well. Too often we see people messing with the mounds on the right. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Frank, there's fairway, there's rough, and then there's mulch.
Yeah, the worst thing about the mulch is all these little chips around the ball, and that's so the ball doesn't sit up. And once again, this shot might look easy, but if you just miss it a bit, it so exaggerates the outcome.
Well, on the green, but far from the hole.
A little bit of a head scratcher. A lot of work coming up here.
Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. That's all he wanted to do there.
Yeah, it's touch. And when you think from that distance, chances of making are almost so to get a two-putt. Well.
So with that, 3 over par now for the round. Just before we get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, 15 requires all of your attention, doesn't it, Frank?
Personally, I think this is the prettiest hole on the golf course, Rich. I've actually often gone back there and taken pictures. Just a gentle dogleg to the right. You come out of the chute, seems to be a generous fairway. You just get a little view of the bunker down the right side, but virtually there's no lip there, so that's not a concern. The green, all sorts of weird and wonderful waves on it, well protected by a big bunker on the left, and there's 2 little pop bunkers out on the right that, well, if you're first time around, you might notice.
Frank, what's the key on this approach here at the 15th?
Well, knowing exactly where that pin placement is, Rich, there's mounding, there's that little gut out of the right side of this green. If you miss your mark here, that ball can easily finish 30 or 40 feet away.
Excellent shot to within 10 feet. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey. That's about as depressing a moment as there is in golf. When you miss the bogey putt, you know you're staring at double. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Time to regroup. That's a double bogey. Now the start of the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18. Par 5, 16. Frank, Tiger made birdie here all 4 days in winning in 2013.
Fred Couples made that fantastic eagle many years ago. Hole bends a little to the player's left. You don't have to hit driver here if you're a long hitter, but you really must move that ball right to left.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5. His second shot. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. And he's made it onto the green now. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Frank, as a fan, it's so exciting because it's just so simple as well. Ball's in the air, you're wondering, where is it? Wet, dry, short, long, winner or loser?
And it's no surprise that this hole was an accident. This one was designed by not Pete Dye, but his wife Alice Dye. But we have seen so many accidents right here. Hazard?
Maybe wet. Frank, sadly, I've been there too often. In the water, you get down on yourself. What's the right way to approach this mentally?
Well, you've almost got to take a step backwards, Rich. This can add up so quickly. So give yourself a little pat on the back, say it's fine. I mean, you're human. You're allowed to hit bad shots. But the big thing now is to avoid 2 in a row.
So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the third shot. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
That's a head scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. That will be a 3 over on the scorecard for this hole. Time to pick up and move on. Now to the final hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. Frank, is this one of the toughest finishing holes in the sport?
It is, because the simple reason you've played 17 holes and the job isn't done yet. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Now his final approach shot of the day, just wants to go out in style.
One more good swing.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. So a tough way to close the round, missing a short putt and a bogey here at 18.
A lip out's fine, as long as it doesn't happen to you.
Clean this up with a tap. Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. Well, that'll do it for today. Not a great performance, not on the first page of that leaderboard.
Yeah, the people on the top of this leaderboard are there for a reason. They hit more fairways, more greens. It sounds easy, and I know this is a difficult course, but that's the way it's going to have to be played.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present second round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. It's the second round of the Web.com Tour Championship, fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. We saw a lot of great golf on day number one, but as we inch closer, Frank, with those 50 PGA Tour cards up for grabs, that pressure begins to ratchet up.
It would have to, Rich, with that golden ticket come the end of this week, and that's a chance to play on the PGA Tour. But for the time being, let's look at the way they're playing right now. We are seeing some players play at the top of their game.
See if our featured player can do something right today.
Yeah, when you're swinging well, obviously target looks as big as a barn, but on days like today, everything looks difficult.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Settles in over the putt. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Seventh hole here at Sawgrass, Frank, a bit uncomfortable off the tee.
It is. It reminds me a little bit of the opening hole, much longer version, where when you stand on the tee and look at the green, it's a straightaway hole. But that fairway goes to the left, then it comes back to the right. But they're all optical illusions.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Frank, you've been there. What's the best way to approach this next shot at the seventh hole?
There's a lot of mounding on this seventh green, to the right and the left. You can use those mounds to kick the ball to the flag.
Shit.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Frank, that was a pretty tough lie out of the rough.
Horrible.
Yeah, it made that actually a little easier than what it really is. It would have been too easy to try and bite off more than you can chew. So I got to give him a pat on the back for that.
Back in the fairway.
Oh.
And he's made the green. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
Oh. Ooh, nailed it.
Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
Here we are at the 8th at Pete Dye's famed stadium course at the TPC Sawgrass. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Frank, this is a hole that I really like.
And players do too, Rich, especially off that back tee where it must be about 80 yards of shoot that you go through before the hole actually starts to open up. And this green, 11 bunkers in total around the whole putting surface.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just ride a par down at the end of it.
At one time
there it
considered
is.
the best
There it is.
PGA teaching professional in the country, our featured golfer makes birdie and moves inside the cut line. Frank, I think this is one of the most fascinating holes on the golf course. The 583-yard par 5 ninth hole.
With technology now, a lot more players can reach this par 5 and 2. Gone are the days where it was a true three-shotter, but I remember when Sergio Garcia hit that 3-wood from, what was it, 270, 280 yards? Still one of the best shots I've ever seen.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Frank, narrow entryway to this green here at the 9th. Short shot, but kind of difficult.
Yeah, don't want to get too aggressive here. You missed the green on the left, that bunker there, very difficult to get it up and down. And of course, there's the 2 little pop bunkers on the right side. And there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. See if he can get something going here. 2 straight birdies. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. He'll take par and move on. Let's get the back 9 started here at the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass and break down the 10th for us, Frank.
Well, it's similar to the opening hole. The 1st and 10th give you the same feeling where you feel awkward off the tee shot. Difference to the 1st hole, you've got to poke your tee shot towards the right side of the fairway here, turning it into a dogleg. And similar thing, now you're going back across the fairway to the green.
Second shot now at the 10th, and again, Frank, accuracy is at a premium.
Yeah, gone are the days to sort of thrash it out of the trees like Phil Mickelson. Ideally, coming out of that fairway, you're hitting to a green that moves to the right. So that makes it a little bit more difficult than what the mind's eye first sees.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good 3rd shot, maybe get away here with par. Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a master class in short game.
Right about 9 feet here to the hole. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts.
Even par, currently. That was a tricky one, but it's in.
Hole number 11, 558-yard, par 5. Frank, players in attack mode here.
Yeah, just try and blitz it down there. There are other bunkers on the left to consider, but really, with that much fairway, this is a green light opportunity.
And from the fairway for his second shot here.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. You got 5 minutes to find it.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough.
Always tough to get a decent flight out of the rough. And you could see that ball was never soaring out of that light.
And he's made it onto the green now. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Frank, disappointing couple of rounds there.
And consequently a miscut. No chance playing in the weekend, but there's more than one tournament ahead.
Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. For those of you just tuning in, we're checking in now on our featured golfer here at the fourth. Early in the round, still holding steady, even par on the day.
Yeah, it's got that feel it could go either way here. Next few holes will probably tell us which way.
That will be a great look at birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Once considered the best PGA teaching pro in the country, our featured golfer makes birdie and now sits comfortably inside the cut line. Frank, this looks like a fun hole. The first par 5 of the day, 535-yard fifth.
Yeah, as long as you've got something that doesn't go left off the tee shot and doesn't go right off the second shot, you'll be fine.
Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Now the third shot here at the par 5, fifth.
Yeah, great opportunity, scoring club in hand. Just check the yardage, make sure there's no little fickle breezes around. Pitch the ball on the number, got a birdie putt coming up.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. Good clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If you can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence. All things pointed to a good week. Birdie there, very important right now.
Playing some good golf. Well, the architect Pete Dye is known for visual intimidation. We see it at TPC Sawgrass at the Players every year. And you see it right here, Frank, at this 255-yard par 3/6 with water everywhere you look.
Yeah, you could make an argument here that it suits a little bit of a cut, like a Lee Trevino style fade that starts at the left and moves its way to the green, but then that's also moving back towards the water. Conversely, if you try and fly it over that water on the right side with a little bit of a draw, then the green starts to run out on the left side. Have I made it sound hard?
Not terrible, but not his best.
100.
Outside chance, really, for
29
birdie,
feet.
but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. With authority, count it as a par and 2 under. Frank, this is like a big water park here at PGA West. We saw it at the 6th, and here again at the 7th, a challenging par 4, 346 yards.
I've never, ever seen anyone try and drive this green, so it's just a layup. See the bunker down there in the distance, that really is the stop sign. So something that's short of that, but really what I prefer is try and lay up on a nice number, something that you've got a full shot in, whether that be a 9-iron or an 8-iron or a wedge. You'd like to have a full club in here. Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Just a couple of feet.
What a birdie. Now just a handful of players in contention.
.555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
Frank, right where you want to be.
Wouldn't be better if it was on a tee.
Nice position, short grass, second shot.
Well, it's going to take a good one here considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point. Well, Frank, you hate to miss the green on a par 5 with your third shot.
Yeah, well, they say par 5s are the easiest holes to birdie, but the hardest holes to make 4. Making a 6, though, well, that certainly sets yourself backwards. So tough up and down.
That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I'd say a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
Frank, as we arrive here at the par 4 ninth, 452 yards, I hear players like you often say, I'm going to take it on. What do you mean by that, and how does it apply to this particular tee shot?
Well, you have options, obviously. One is to hit it down that right side, which is your best shot. The easy way is obviously to bail it out down the left side, but then you're almost giving into the hole, like you're accepting you're going to make bogey if you're lucky. So in the end, you're forced to go back to option A, which is actually to challenge the best shot you have, which is down the right side.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
13 feet away.
Unlucky for some, but very makeable. It's no snack though.
Well, you can see he's just disgusted with that effort. Whew, this is tough to watch.
I've already got my eyes covered.
So, one round in the books and a lot to chew on here.
There is. This is going to be a tough championship to pull away. The standard of golf, especially that first page of the leaderboard. Excellent golf.
EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. It's second round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge.
Rich Lerner, pleased to be alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Back to PGA West, getting set for the back nine. And the 10th hole, it's a good-looking hole, Frank, at 416 yards.
It certainly gets your attention, just the visual there. This is one of those holes, if you've got a caddy, you say, oh, what's that carry over the bunker on that left side where the water is? He'll tell you it's like 240 yards, and then you say, well, what's it to the bunkers on the right? Well, to get past those ones on that right side, you're in the vicinity of 300 yards. This is a hole that, you know, you'll scratch your head.
Get down. Lay down. Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are, because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Frank, where has that been?
Yeah, thank God for small mercies.
Well, we've arrived at our third par 5 of the day here at PGA West. It is the 11th. It is nicknamed, appropriately, Eternity. 617 yards.
You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. No fairway here. This one in that rough. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank, this one's going too far left, it looks like.
Yeah, it was fine there for a little while, but if it keeps going left, it's doomed.
So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. Oh, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading...
Frank, you've just hit one in the water. You don't want to compound the mistake. What's the mindset here?
This one right here, you've got to forget that big blue oasis in front of you.
Not what you wanted to hear, but this is the 5th shot after the ball went into the water. Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
Extra stroke at it after going into the water. Number 7, and nothing lucky about this one, Frank, after hitting it in the water.
Yeah, really starting to get away from the...
So, drop the shot after ending up in the water on that recent miscue. So, in the water on the previous shot, now playing the 9th shot.
Well, when you talk about good players and great players, what's the difference? We've just seen it.
In the water, too bad. Well, double par here, time to pick up and move on. Frank, Pete Dye always gets a player thinking what might be going through a player's mind right here.
You're going to play it as a layup. You know, that's a given. It's just what distance you want. And for every distance you're going to hit it off the tee, Pete Dye gives you a different challenge. If you lay it all the way back, obviously you've got the widest fairway. Then you've got the longer second shot. Get a little closer, it starts to shrink up, shrink up, shrink up. So it's how much do you want to bite off?
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Either misjudged the win or simply just pulled the wrong club, Frank.
Going to take some skill now.
Frank, anything you do differently from the rough in terms of your swing? You hinge the club a little bit more quickly?
You know, normally put the ball just a little bit further back in your stance because you want the club to be going down. Down, it's got to go down through the grass, through the ball.
Frank, you know full well, this can be a humbling game.
And an embarrassing game.
Well, Frank, we came off a hole, the short par 4 12th, where players no doubt were thinking about making birdie. Here, it's a different story. Why?
It is. Well, 13's always going to be unlucky for some. There's so much water down there.
So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
Third shot now, after the last one found the deep blue.
Well, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
That shot does finish up on the green, but it sets up for a very difficult putt.
This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt.
That was not a very good read right there.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Been a rocky round. Now another short par 4. It's only 389 yards. But Frank, where could a player go off course, so to speak, at this 14th?
Well, this is a hole where you have to play your own game. If you're a longer hitter, I think you can challenge that bunker and knock it over there. And if you're shorter player, you should be only looking at that left side. You're always going to feel like you've left something out there on a hole like this. You've always think you could have done the other option. But this is where you've got to stick to what you think is your game plan.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
And he's set up for his third shot here, looking to get it on the green with this.
Nailed it.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Frank, too many missed shots, and now a missed cut.
Yes, it's disappointing, but the experience gained from playing this course really will be invaluable. Now's the time, just pick your head up and move forward. There's always another week.
Oh. Alright, let's see if I can't make the cut here.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the BioWare Classic.
It is just an ideal day for golf. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. We're getting set for all the action this afternoon at Wetlands Golf and Country Club in Florida. And this is certainly a challenge, Frank.
It is. We really should rename it Drylands because that's the way you want to play this golf course. If you're not dry, then you are going to be wet. That swampland is just all the way around this golf course. In between it, though, is fairway. So fairway, the goal all day today.
And as always, with the state of Florida, you have to factor in the changing winds.
Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the green.
Well, just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win. Missed putt and a drop shot here at the 10th. He's putting for bogey now.